That's it.
Now go back to your screen share.
Click on that one.
Okay,
There you go.
there we go. Thank you, everybody. Well done, Julie. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's East Grinstead Town Council Planning Committee, 3rd of April. Sorry for the slight delay. Technical issues. First part of the meeting is public participation. We do have a member of the public in. Would you like? Are you saying anything with any application, sir, or just here visiting?
I have a question for you at some point. I don't know.
Please, this is the moment to ask us.
Oh, I heard that there was a possibility of closing, I think it's London Road to road traffic. I just wanted to see whether there was any truth in it, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it's not really a planning committee issue. It's but there is something going on in terms of a working group that's being put together to look into the feasibility of that.
So it's at early days?
Very, very early days,
Okay.
yes, absolutely.
And will the public be consulted on it?
There will most definitely be public consultation and stakeholder engagement, yes, absolutely, 100%.
Great.
Okay.
I think I'll then.
Okay, all right, no, that's fine, yeah, we won't take it personally.
Maybe I'll learn something.
That's
Thank you very much.
all right, my pleasure. Okay. Item number 1 is to commence no later. Apologies for absence and substitutions. We had Councillor Pond, who's away on holiday. Councillor Peacock sent in his notes for couldn't attend for personal reasons. The same for Councillor Scott. And is that everybody?
I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the town mayor makes 9. So yes, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'd just like to everybody propose that we accept those apologies for absences. Can I have a second? Thank you, Councillor Whittaker. All those in favour of accepting those?
That's carried.
Thank you very much. Item number 2 is to receive the minutes of the meeting held on the 11th of March. I would like to propose that we accept those minutes. Can I have a second? We're all for one and one for all. Thank you very much. All those in favour of accepting those minutes? Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent stuff. Thank you. Okay, so item number 3 is to receive members' declarations of interest, which are, we normally talk about 2 Mid-Sussex or 3 Mid-Sussex councillors. I don't know if there's any conflicts. Declarations of interest.
Councillor Whittaker will have a one he wishes to make.
Thank you, Chair. Just to say that I am on the District Planning Committee for the District Council, so reserve my right should any applications this evening come before that committee at a future time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have another of my funny ones that might not even be worth.
You do have one. Yes,
Yes.
you do.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I hope we talk about the same one, otherwise I missed the other one. So yes, I'm currently employed by the Queen Victoria Hospital NHS Trust, and they have an application on the agenda, though I don't believe it's on our presentation.
Thank you. So, brilliant. Councillor Mrs. Mockford, did you want to say anything or not? There's no licensing, is there? Yes. Excellent. Thank you very much, everybody. Item number 4 is Chairman's announcements. The Ashplatts Wood Sang is considering the need for improvements to the Sang route. They're within Ashplatts Forest. They've a quote for just over 100 metres long stretch of boardwalk to go in on the Gill Steps section of the forest. And at the moment, it's quite muddy and quite dangerous, so they're looking to extend that. So they're looking at putting in a 1.5 metre wide, 104 metre long stretch of boardwalk to span the stretch of Gill Steps. Next, it's also proposed to look at what additional stretches would benefit from upgrading within the Sang itself, which is the woods and the bottom field. So they're looking at focusing on the areas being brought to the attention of East Court Park Run, plus also there's routes involved which the Sustainable Travel and Environment Committee are looking into as well, with routes within the wood and then out through onto the field. So it's just really for noting on that one, just for information.
Is it the same material that is there, that it's going to be the continuous pathway that they're going to add in? Is that going to be of the
Well,
same?
it's a boardwalk steps that go
Yes.
down, so they're not wooden, they're
No.
a poly plastic kind of very where I think they're just
That'll be, yes, that's what they're proposing to use on the steps, and then as they come out of the woods, then it potentially it'll be a different type of material again, so it's various different materials
Is it?
depending on where they are going to be, yes.
Okay.
But it's all being proposed by Mid Sussex.
Yeah. Okay.
the costs would be met from existing SANG funds, so there's no funds from the town council for that, and that's really just for noting it.
Yes, thank you.
Number 5 was a delegated decision. Oh, okay, sorry, yes.
Sorry, no. I'm seeing the wrong piece of paper.
We have another chairman's announcement, hot off the press.
There you are. Beg your pardon.
Yes, following on from information that was sent through today to everybody, we understand that residents around the old police station, although not East Grinstead Town Council, have received a letter asking for their views as to a conversion of the old police station to flats. The clerk has approached the developer to ask that they contact the council in order to learn more. And as the town clerk mentioned, if the ward councillors want to join in on that meeting, then please let her know in advance, please. Thank you very much. That's pretty much everything?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Item number 5 was a delegated decision. We had a letter in from a Mr. Holding, who's approached the council to ask for support for a TRO to extend the double yellow lines past Barnfield Place, which is just past the ship and the music shop. Sorry, no, it's not. That's Barnfield Place at the bus stop on Holtai Road. I beg your pardon. I was thinking of something else. I've got TROs. I've got too many TROs in my head. This one is on the Holtai Road. I apologise. He was hopeful to get this approved in time for the resurfacing work, which is planned for the 28th of March. While it was thought unlikely that the timeframe could work, the original application had been lost, and the clerk, in discussion with the chair and vice chair, agreed to send a letter of support for the application on the basis that the county council was supportive and had visited the site to view the proposal, meeting several residents who were supportive of this as well. A letter was therefore sent to Mr. Holding for submission with his application. I'm asking the committee just really to note this decision if that's possible.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Town Clerk. Okay,
On to the plans.
item number 6 is protected tree applications. Normally we could take this on block. There's only one anyway, but if anybody has any comments with regards to the application for the trees, no, there's no comments on the portal anyway. So what I would suggest is that we'll just pass this decision over to the tree officer.
Yeah.
I would like to propose that. In a
I'll
second.
second that.
Thank you, Councillor Mrs. Belsey. All those in favour?
Carried.
Thank you. Great. Okay, item number 7. Item number 7 is the first application, which is DM 240505. It is 14 Railway Approach and land rear of to 108 London Road, East Grinstead. It's the extension to number 14 Railway Approach and the land to the rear of 108 London Road to provide an extended commercial unit to the ground floor and provision of 4 residential dwellings. There are a couple of things on the portal just to make everybody aware. There's disability access of reiterated concerns to the first floor flats with no lifts, therefore reducing availability for the less able. Landlords of 6 to 8 and 10 to 12 Railway Approach are in support of the application. And then behind you've got 19 Dalloway and 20 Dalloway who are concerned as to the development of this property overlooking them and the noise, and also the concern as to proximity of the restaurant. The developer does advise that other properties are closer and overlooking, and there's no restaurant in this plan. We'll get to the details. Is everybody aware of where we're located? Yeah, so you've got, I think that's Tim Lay, the Chinese restaurant here, and then this is the building behind all of that is here. This is in question, and the land that's owned by that particular property. I think you can see what this building here is what's in there at the moment, and this is the proposed development of that extension to make it into 4 flats and the commercial property on the ground floor. Google Maps from the developer, which is kind, so you can see it in kind of situ here. So you can just about see the building there, and then they're going to be building on the site there. This is the current plan, an elevation of the property. So you can see that this is looking at it from this way here. And this is what it's going to look like. It looks like it's 2 buildings square, but they're not. This particular side is set back. And then to give you a closer idea of how that would look. So this is how it's set back here. So the angle on the previous slide was looking that way. You've got current plans for the property at the moment, and we've also got the ground floor proposed, so you can just see the extension here. This is all existing commercial unit, and this is the ground floor extension to that. And then you've got the 1st and 2nd floor proposed units as well within that application. This is Town South. We don't have anybody from Town South here, do we? So,
Chairman, did Councillor Scott comment on it? Because it's usually perceptive on
no, he didn't.
points and.
He didn't make any comments on this one, unfortunately. I'll lead. I actually think this is a great proposal with design. They've really put a lot of effort into actually making it look semi-presentable in an area that does need upgrading, and also within the neighbourhood plan, of course, it does state that we would look on favourably to this type of development. So I can't see that there's too much in terms of mitigation to ask for really on this proposal, if I'm honest. I think they've been pretty sympathetic, and they're using the space of the land correctly. They're adding, cycle parking and things like that in there too. I would say that this is I would approve this application. I'd like a second, if that's possible, before we can then go to, thank you, Councillor Whittaker. Let's open it up to everybody now for discussion. Councillor Whittaker.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I completely agree. You're quite right. This railway approach is in the neighbourhood plan as a development improvement area. We've seen a bit, but not enough. The neighbourhood plan's 8 years old now, so it's good to see this. It's quite an awkward site. It will improve it, as you say. It's quite a nice design. But also, I think it's worth saying, I'm pretty sure the portal it said they're providing 1 parking space for each flat out of that. So nominated parking spaces, which usually for a scheme like this in the town we don't get.
Yeah.
So I think that's worth noting. So
Yes.
I think it's a very good design.
Thank you.
Can I just see London Road? I think it's a shot of where it is.
So railway approach,
Yes,
and then you've got the Chinese restaurant here,
yes.
Bluebell's Cafe on the corner,
Yes.
and then behind that, you've got the entrance, the access road is through there into the building currently, which will remain.
Right.
Cycle storage is going to go in that sort of triangular bit there, and that's the main building that's currently there at the moment, which I think it's on 2 floors. It's two separate apartments, so they're making 2 apartments into 4 basically.
So the objections from, they were neighbours, it was regarding
Yes.
light or privacy or?
No, I think really it's these houses here in Dalloway Gardens
Yes.
that were behind the
Yes.
Timlay restaurant. They're worried about the noise and things, but unfortunately,
No.
the noise from the development that's unavoidable. But
Chairman, if it helps, number 19 stated they were concerned about overlooking and the noise, but what was pointed out by the developer is that there's already other properties closer than this will be to those existing properties.
I think he's referring to these particular buildings here. So even if there is something there, it's I don't think it's anything going to make any much of a difference really. To be honest.
So may I ask where the access is for this?
Yes, you've got, so if you go down Railway Bridge on the left where Johnston's Paints are,
Yes.
so if you turn left in there,
Yes.
in between the Thai restaurant and the paint
Yes.
shop, how knowledgeable was that?
Aldridge and Trilwood.
Thank you very much. There's a road
Because that
there.
is used for.
It's currently used anyway, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, yeah, and there's some parking garages here.
Yes.
And they won't be affected. That's been stated quite
Yeah.
clearly that the car parking, which is already there for those business units, will not be affected by this.
Any other questions?
I just think it's to be supported. I
Okay.
think it's commendable.
Yeah, no, it's great, excellent, thank you very much. Councillor Gibbs?
I was just going to say that it looks like a good utilisation of the space in an area that needs a bit of reinvigoration. So,
Thank you very
support from me.
Okay, great. So we have a proposal for approval of all those in favour?
That's carried.
Okay. So next up on the list is DM 233256, as requested by Councillor Mrs Mockford of Baldwins, Cedar Lodge, Packenden Lane, proposed demolition of existing shed and erection of detached garage, and revised plans were received on the 8th of March. The revised plans were submitted on the 1st of February. The committee in that time made no comment as to this particular application, but it's come back, and I think that's purely because there were some letters from residents about the state of the public right of way, and if you remember, committee, the owners of Cedar Lodge, there was a bushes and green area here where they basically got rid of the bushes and used Alders View Drive as access into their property, whereas before that, correct me if I'm wrong, it was down through Packenden Lane, yeah, which is here across the railway bridge and down into the property. So there a few residents have written in. Councillor Mrs Mockford, would you like to
Yes, whilst
say a few
I
words?
don't actually have a problem with the building of the garage, I would just like to see a condition put on that any works that generate any mud which go onto Alders View Drive, that they are cleaned up on a weekly basis, just to
Yes.
offer a little bit of solace to the poor long-standing residents of Alders View. But I understand, I mean, I realise you can't say we can't do this because you haven't done the last one.
No.
That is just not on.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a good idea to show that,
Yes. Now, is it Mr Lederer? Is he the owner?
Yes.
Yes. So we would like to encourage Mr Lederer to be neighbourly
yes,
and just be nice about the fact that other people live on that road and
correct.
take care and clean
I mean,
clean up
any
messes.
mud it generates is going to come out onto Alders View Drive. So if it could be cleaned on a weekly basis, just a condition,
Yeah.
that's all.
So as a proposal, you're proposing to approve.
Yes, I
I'll
am.
second that. Does anybody else have any comments? Councillor Gibbs?
A little bit late in the day, I live on Aldersview Drive, just thought I'd throw that in there rather late in the day, but.
You're not that close, you don't,
You're the other.
you
You're
don't,
other end.
button onto the property,
I
in
just
that
thought,
case. you don't.
when the next cut.
If you lived here,
There.
if you live there, mate,
We'd have a
we'd
concern.
have issues. But we're all right at the moment.
No, you're fine.
Okay, that's fine. So we have a vote for approval. All those in favour? Thank you.
Carried.
Subject to the comments.
On the condition.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. Okay, next on the list is DM 24-0553, the Croft Holtai Road, it's demolition of the existing garage and erection of self-built detached house. So this is the plot. Everybody knows where we are. Just off the Holtai Road, isn't it? And this is the current building, which is obviously going to remain, and then this is the building that they're proposing next door on the garden, which is here. So the property is going to be built here, basically. I have some visuals, which is always nice from the architect. Going to hand this over to Ashplatch North. Is that Councillor Mrs. Belsey? Please let it be Mrs. Belsey.
It is.
Thank you, Councillor Mrs. Belsey. Would you like to kick us off, please?
Well, unfortunately, I have been away. I got back late this afternoon and I failed in my attempt to get there. It was just mud everywhere and my car was sitting and I just didn't actually make it down there.
No, that's
So
absolutely
I
fine.
apologise for that. It has come before us before, hasn't it?
Not this particular.
Not this particular
No.
application. Okay. I thought I recognised it.
This is the property here on Google Maps, and you can.
Yes.
This is where they're going to. That's
Yeah.
where they're going to build the new house here.
Yes. Have we, I suppose when you're having a planning permission, we don't have to consider what their intention is with regard to the building that they're vacating. So this is purely a planning permission for a new building, which the owner is going to move into.
I don't think they're going to move into it. No, I think they're just building on the property to sell.
Sorry, I thought I read somewhere on the, I read into the site. Okay. In my opinion, it's somewhat out of keeping with that particular area. I know some people prefer the more modern build, so it's just a personal opinion that I think it's out of keeping. But on building grounds, I don't think there is anything particularly offensive about it because it's tucked away. So I haven't got any real grounds to object to it.
No. Okay. So would you approve the
Yes.
application? Okay. Would anybody like to second that? Councillor Chisholm, thank you very much. Okay. Would anybody like to have any comments?
Chair, have you got a location plan, please? I can't quite picture.
This is the only plan that they have. Councillor Whittaker, I'm really
Where's the
sorry.
whole Tie Road?
So, you've got, this is, the Holtai Road is up here, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Going horizontal
It's that,
Yeah.
to that.
where you go for the turkeys, or is that really?
It's where they, a little bit further
Is it
up.
after Harvest Hill?
Yes, that's where they had the proposal for the extra four houses backing onto Beacon Rise, if you remember, a couple of months ago, which is further up here. And then further down this rural lane, you've got farms.
Or you get the trees, before you get to the nursery.
Yes.
It's quite a
So
dangerous.
basically down that
I
road.
mean, it's horrific turning.
So you go down the whole side road, it's off on the right.
It's on the right, yes.
Not the left.
Yeah, past Beacon Rise on the right, and then it's
Just
on the
past
bend,
Bluebell
it's on the
Gate,
bend.
Beacon Rise,
Yes,
and then
yeah, I'm with you, yes.
So it's a bit further on from that application that came through a few months ago, which is a bit further on. And so you've got the A264 running
Yeah,
parallel.
okay, thank you.
Sorry, perpendicular.
Thank you.
Councillor Gibbs?
Similar to what councillor Delsey said, the modern design is quite striking, but I don't know. It might be worth the committee thinking about whether it really fits that area. Although again, it is sort of tucked away, so I mean, it's not as much of an issue, but yeah, I'm not saying I object to it, so just worth it.
Anybody else got any comments? I think the other things to mention really, I agree from a design perspective, down a rural road, I mean, you're not going to see it, but equally it's not really in keeping with that countryside setting, but it's one of those, which way do you go? And also access into that road is quite tricky as well, isn't it?
horrific.
So, you know, there needs to be mitigation for that as well, I would say. So we have a vote for approval, and that has been seconded. We'll go to the vote. All those in favour? Against? Abstaining?
Can I say?
No,
I don't think I've done that.
that's fine. That's fine. I think we might well get that back again. But no, it's one of those in between ones really. You just don't know which to go for. But you know, if you're young and into modern, you know, architecture, then it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
So the comment I've got on that one, Chair, is committee were concerned that the design was not in keeping with the surround. However, it was noted the property would be hidden from general view. On balance, the committee would support approval.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And can we mention something about the entrance to the from the Holtai Road onto it as well, just to mention that it's very dangerous. Anybody else to that? No. Okay, last one on the agenda is DM 240704, which is 5 to 8A Whitehall Parade, London Road. It's a change of use of the second floor from retail to 7 self-contained one-bedroom residential units and installation of additional windows. No comments really on the construction, no objections either really, to be honest with you. But it's town centre and it's an important building, so I really thought it was worth you know, us having a discussion about it. So it's the Martell's building for everybody that isn't aware, and you can see that we've got the front facade here and then the rear. Nothing's really changing on any of the front. The only thing that I would say is changing is from the rear, you've got more windows at the back to support the light going into the new flats or apartments. So you can see here that that's the additional windows on the rear. Included in that also we've got the current elevation for that particular floor, the block plan for that floor there, and then this is what it's going to look like. 7 apartments going in there, and obviously this is below. There was an application last year for the where it used to be the cafe. They're now apartments, so it's the floor underneath that. So that's just really to give you an idea of what it looks like or will look like. This is the London Road here, and there's no difference. There's no alterations to that front Whitehall building at all. It's just internal really. So this is Town South. So I would say that I'm happy to approve really on this one. Can I have a second? Thank you, Councillor Sidoti. It's open for discussion. Councillor Sidoti.
Yes. I can't see any reason to object to it. We need, I'm not saying it's lower cost, but a one bedroom for single people or I just think it's great to more accommodation, better for people who are younger or commuting.
Yes.
I'm in favour, it's not altering the style, I'm all in favour.
Councillor Gibbs.
I just echo that point, people are crying out for somewhere to live, so.
I mean, it's a shame we're losing some retail space, obviously, but needs must, but there are still 2 floors of that particular department store available, to customers. Yeah, I just, there's nothing really to not recommend. Councillor Whittaker, you got any comments? No. So we've got a vote for approval, which was seconded. All those in favour?
Carried.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, committee. I'd like to close this meeting now at 7:38. Our next meeting is Monday, the 22nd of April. Thank you very much.
I've got 7:43.
Oh, 7:44, sorry.
Okay, we're going with 7:43.
Yeah.
I did wonder if
I
my lights
feel
was
like
wrong.
one of those.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for coming.
You can't go that way, I'm afraid.
What are they up to out there?
Oh, it's Shropmist.
Lady Rotarians. That's what they call them.
Professional ladies.
Brilliant.
And it gives it a whole different flavour, doesn't it, actually?
I was gonna say, like,